Where's my wavy gang at? Behind the cell door, let me hear you bang that. Let me hear ya. This is from a wavy gang though.
Man like Jimmy. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Well, Bungie have brought the hammer to town, and it starts with N and ends in Earth. That's right, Bungie are about to nerf a number of quite prolific, significant, imperative weapons within the season of Opulence, or at least when it launches, and the community is not happy about it. So what I thought I'd do is share a few of my thoughts after having a little bit of a think about where Bungie are heading with this and what they're deciding to do with regards to the sandbox moving forward. Now, this all came about with Bungie's twab post on the 16th of the 5th, 2019, where they dropped an info explosion on many existing exotic armor pieces and exotic weapons that will be nerfed in the upcoming season of Opulence. Now, to go through a number of these weapons, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to pick out a couple of the weapons as well as the exotic armor pieces. Now, Whisper of the Worm is one of the weapons that will be getting a nerf come the season of Opulence, and the community is in uproar about it. Well, half the community is in uproar because we kind of split on this. Now, some of the community is saying they shouldn't have nerfed it, they've done it again. Bungie bringing us this exotic weapon quest. We've gone through the grind of getting it, and now they're gonna nerf it into oblivion. And I can kind of like empathize with those people who are making these statements, because it is true. People have gone out, used their time to get this weapon, and they've now got a weapon that's not what they grinded for. Should it have been like this in the first place, then people would have made an educated decision on whether or not they wanted to achieve it. Now, on the flip side, I don't really have a problem with it going back to what it's going to be. Basically, at the moment, if you get 3 critical shots with the Whisper of the Worm, you get ammo pulled out of the air, basically. So you can have infinite ammo provided that you hit all your critical shots. Now, you basically pull those shots from reserve. So if you hit 3 shots in a row, then your magazine refills instantly with 3 more shots until you run out of reserve ammo. Now, in my opinion, it's a little bit more balanced like this, and it stops people from just basically farming big, large bosses that can not move around so much. Think Scourge of the Past raid, think the Beguzia Forge, those types of bosses who have large critical spots that don't really move around that much. Whisper is basically being nerfed to make fights a little bit more interesting, rather than just seeing how much DPS you can get off before the boss becomes immune. Now, in my opinion, I think that is something positive for the game. There are a number of design flaws with the game, which I'll talk about in a moment, which means that exotic armor pieces and exotic weapons just help bypass what the actual activity was intended for. For example, and going on to what I was going to say, Orpheus rigs, Shards of Galanor, Ursa Furiosa, Skull of Dire Ahamkara, those exotics that give you super energy back for basically using your super, those exotics needed to be balanced from way before this patch, in my opinion, specifically for PvE. I mean, being able to regen your super almost instantly just for killing a few mobs, I think is way too powerful, and something that just makes the game a little bit easy, a little bit, I wouldn't say casual, but just a little bit more accessible. But it also means the difficulty of activities just goes down, and it just generally means that you're kind of going through activities not really thinking about or trying to be tactical with your super usage. You're just spamming abilities. I mean, if you think the Reckoning at the moment, and you're a warlock, a Voidwalker warlock, and you've got the Dire Skull of Ahamkara, you can literally do that whole bridge section just by throwing your Nova Bomb, because you get it back so frequently. And I think that's a bit of an issue. To anybody who says that is enjoyable over a longer period of time, really has to think about what it is they're playing the game for. Yes, you do feel powerful, but the actual activity of the game is nowhere near where it needs to be, in my opinion, if you've got exotics that can just bypass that super generation. So for PvE, Bungie, I get it. You want to design more activities that allow for strategic and tactical implications, which then allow for a better feeling of success and engagement upon completion. I understand. However, Bungie, you've also delved into the realm of PvP and made some decisions which can be considered quite questionable. The nerf to Ace of Spades is one of the things that is also upcoming in the seasons of Opulence. It means you can no longer backpack Memento Mori, so you can't run around with kill clip if your weapon is stowed, and it's also reduced the damage due to being able to 2-tap with the one-eyed mask. Now, Cool Guy mentioned this in a video. He said that nerfing one weapon because of one helmet on one character is something that is highly questionable, and kind of makes for some head scratching moments when it means that the rest of the player base has to kind of like suffer due to one exotic armor piece on one character. Now, my overall issue with the whole balance in general is we haven't really seen a PvP sandbox balance update in a while, and we haven't had a refresh or a rethink of any of the exotics in a while also. For example, Capri's Horn on the Titan, also a Titan helmet. Who in their right mind is using that weapon, using that exotic armor piece to complete any sort of activity? You're just not going to use it, which means the potency of the exotic armor pieces and the exotic weapons, for example, are going to be a lot stronger on the most prominent ones because there are no real other options. I mean, Eternal Warrior is another example. Again, a Titan helmet. Nobody's using that to do anything. The Aeon Safe or Aeon Swift or whatever they're called on each of the classes, people are not using that exotic as an exotic armor piece. They're just not going to use it. It's not effective enough. Now, in my opinion, before we start looking to nerf some of the more well-known ones, we need to look at look at some of the exotic armor pieces and weapons that don't see play. Why aren't they seeing play? Why aren't people using them? Why aren't these exotic armor pieces getting catalyst, for example? Because Bungie know that the player base knows that these things are just not effective. So Bungie have taken a nerf hammer to the most effective things and said, right, we're bringing everything down. Even though they came out with a statement earlier on in Destiny's life cycle where they says it's time to bring everything up, make things more powerful, and then what they've done here is totally contradicting themselves. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, those are a few of my thoughts. I didn't want to make this video too long, and there are a number of videos out there, and I'll link a couple of them in the description below. But what are your thoughts on the upcoming nerfs to some of the exotic weapons, armor pieces that's coming with the season of Opulence? Is it something that's needed? Were Bungie right to take action? Do you think that Bungie could have taken a different approach? Whatever you think or feel, please feel free to get at me in the comment section below, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, we come to the end of another video. If you do like this content, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed.